Yes, people, come on, let's go, people. Back again, ISCV. Massive day, people. Come on, let's do this. I tell you, it's Friday right here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, anywhere you are. I'm back again. No mess around. It's all about game 19 review and also game 20 review tonight. You know, I don't come here alone. Always with my team in the building. Let's be done. You don't need the building. Spread out. I'm loaded tonight. Oh my goodness. Let's do this, people. All right, Mark. What's going on, bro? You're live with me right now.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here again. Let's do how we do, and we have a lot to talk about, and we really hope that it's going to be an interesting show at the end of the day.
All right, I love what you're saying. Do what you say.
Do what you say what you mean.
Oh my goodness, massive one tonight. All right, we are welcoming everybody onto this show. I'm not always here alone, people. This is ISTV, Intercontinental Sport TV. We move it with vibes. We don't dull. We talk about sport with vibes. Yes, let me welcome this great man also. Nubian Prince, are you ready for me? I tell you, let me introduce Nubian Prince for you. He's a crazy Arsenal fan. He loves Arsenal to the core, to the bone. He can defend Arsenal even anywhere in heaven. He can do it. I'm telling you. Let's do this. Nubian Prince, you're welcome to the show. What's going on, bro? Talk to me.
I'm good. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
All right, you're ready. I'm telling you. Good to see you.
All sitting.
All right, let's do this once again. Raymond is also ready for me all the way from Ibadan. I can tell you, I know where he is. I know where Raymond is right now. I can tell you he's in Ibadan. Oh, you want to tell me? You're in London. Talk to me. Raymond, you're welcome to the show. What's going on, bro?
Well, I can say I'm not in Ibadan. What if I say I'm in Ivory Coast?
Right.
Well, good to be on the show this evening. Last show for the year. Let's get this started.
All right, let's get this started. It is what it is, people. It's a massive day. Today is Friday. We're going to kick off. There's so many things to discuss. I want to welcome everybody on this show. Anywhere you're watching from, please smash the like on the video, subscribe to our channel. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. We are live right now on Instagram. You can check it out. We are there live right now. You can also join us there. Also, very coming soon by next year, we'll be live as well. On other social media handles, I'm talking about TikTok as well too. We have to be there live. Please smash the like on the video. That's how you can support this movement, this kids community going. I can tell you categorically, Ahis also is in the building. I can tell you, let me quickly introduce Ahis. Ahis is Arsenal fan. I can tell you categorically, no mess around with Ahis. He's going to give it to you. He's ready right now. Ahis, you're
have come out.
What's going on, bro? It is what it is. I can tell you it is what it is.
It's good. It's good to be on the show. It's good to talk football.
Yeah.
We're not the type that duck when the team lose. We come out, win.
Yeah.
That was until some moment
we love
ago.
the game football.
Yeah, let's talk football. Also, you're welcome once again. Kunle, are you ready for me? I can tell you where Kunle is right now categorically. I can tell you, Kunle is speaking from Oshodi. That city I love so much. Right there in Nigeria. I love Oshodi City. FC Olomo area.
Mafoluku warrior.
Yay. Kunle, you're welcome to the show. What's going on?
Well, it's good, and it's really bubbling in Oshodi. Some few days ago, that was Boxing Day precisely, was Oshodi Day. It's one of the biggest days in the entire metropolis, and it was bubbling. I mean, it was really bubbling. So this festive period it's been going down in the entirety of Oshodi. And it's great to be on the show. this is the last Friday of the year. We've had many great shows together, and I can't wait to unwrap everything that we have for this weekend.
All right, let's move on. I'm going to welcome this man, this gentleman. I also know where he lives. I can tell you, this guy lives in 2 cities in Nigeria. It's either in Ibadan or Ilefe. Let's ask him by welcoming Robbie. Robbie, you're welcome to the show. Tell me where you at, bro.
Babalufe.
I can't hear you. You unmute your mic. I can't hear you very well.
Sorry. Good evening. Sorry. I didn't know my mic was off. Well, I'm actually in Ife. No, I'm actually in Ibadan. I'm not in Ife at the moment in time. At this point, so I'm in Ibadan right now. It's good to be on the show. Last Friday of the year, last week of the year, last weekend of the year, and I tell you, it is beautiful. Well, I think I just want to ask what happened yesterday. Not the result I was hoping for. I saw the game at 1-0. I went to bed. I woke up and I saw 0-2. So, well, I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Yeah, they will tell us. They will tell us what happened. All right, Bishop, are you ready for me? Where you at? I can tell you, Bishop is on his way to Kilimanjaro. I tell you. Let me ask him. Are you where you are, bro? You're driving. What's going on?
I'm driving home. I can't miss this section. In fact, I'm here for the football god. The unfortunate football god. I don't know where that god went to. Yes,
you're right.
It's good to be on the show last Friday, last day of the year. Just trying to have something. I'll be home very soon just to get ready for the show. Thank you.
All right. Take it easy. Watch your side. Watch your back. Pay your money from the front. That's Okunle Oshodi City right there. Kunle, we are in game 19. Moving on to game 20 this weekend. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good and great about it. I mean, Manchester United right there had a cracking result. I think that for me, I think was the best result of the Boxing Day fixtures. But I think we're not going to take away what Nottingham Forest did, at Newcastle. Yeah. It shows that things are going well under Espirito Santo. And yeah, we spoke about the Arsenal West Ham game, and this is the truth. I'm not going to take anything away from Arsenal, but West Ham is a team that can hurt anybody. They have done it time and time again. They have done it to everybody. So West Ham is one team I never want to face. If you tell me one team you don't want to face in the Premier League every season, it's West Ham, because you don't know what is going to come up. And that team just seems to be getting stronger and stronger under David Moyes. So an unfortunate one for Arsenal. I won't take it out of them. It was West Ham, so I think it was bound to happen. But it's just 19 games gone. There's another 19 to go. There's still a lot more to make amends for. So,
all right, we are ready. All right, let's move on to quick debate. Straight up, I'm going to start with you, Nubia Prince. Don't mess around, just straight up. Who is more likely to get sacked? I'm talking about Ten Hag or Eddie Howe. Nubia Prince, talk to me. Which one of them?
I think Eddie Howe.
Yeah. Eddie Howe, straight up. All right. If I just want to ask you in 30 seconds, why do you say Eddie Howe?
Man, you will most likely want to keep Ten Hag till the summer at the earliest. But for Eddie Howe, the result is very bad. I really think that if he loses at Liverpool this weekend on Monday, I think he will.
Goodness!
I think the way he capitulated Champions League, starting brilliantly, then capitulating, then against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal, just totally inexplicable. And I think I said it.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let me ask Raymond. Raymond, we have Ten Hag here. Eddie Howe, which manager do you think is going to get sacked? Eddie Howe, which manager do you think is going to get sacked very soon?
Well, I think Eddie will be the one to go. The Newcastle project, I feel, is bigger than Eddie Howe. Yes, he had a great season last time out, but this is very indifferent of him. Newcastle United, I think, have only won one match away from home all season in the league, and they're not looking so well. So the Saudi Arabian guys, the Saudi Arabian project, definitely we want a stability and they want quick results. So it looks like as if Eddie Howe, if he didn't improve on his results, then he might just find a way packing.
All right. Thank you so much. Kule, talk to me. Is he your manager? Tenag.
All right.
Thank you so much. Kule, talk to me.
Yeah. Well, for me, I think I will go with what everyone has said. I think it should be Eddie Howe, and I think it should be Eddie Howe, and I think that's because. Things haven't been going the Newcastle's way, and like Newcastle have really been having a bad run of results. I think it's not like United where there is one good result and then they make it up in the next game. Newcastle are not even getting results, and I really think if he continues, he will go. And United's case is not like Newcastle. There are lots of managers that can actually come into Newcastle. Someone like Antonio Conte can come into Newcastle right now. He can, because he has that pedigree. Conte might not come to a Man United, right? But he can go to a Newcastle. And many of the Graham Potter can go to Newcastle. He can. There are other free managers that we have that can do that too. But it will be disappointing because I think Eddie Howe had a great project. Right. And I think he can go ahead with it. Injuries are not healthy. But hey, this is a results-based business. If the results are not coming, you move up. So,
all right.
Eddie Howe.
I know, Robbie, you have a different opinion. Talk to me, Robbie.
Well, I think I have the same opinion as everybody because the last couple of news have not helped his case. And looking at the way they lost the last match, it was very, very disappointing. Looking at the loss to Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, it was also very, very disappointing, despite the fact that they scored first. They only needed to just hold off that game or see up that game as it is to get into the semi-finals. So I think Eddie Howe, give or take, it might not be now, but I think probably maybe at the end of the season, he might get the sack if results do not go his way. And if Newcastle if they don't finish in an European position, I think Eddie Howe probably might be sacked.
All right. Eddie Howe might be sacked again. Eddie, you are ready to get packing. Hey, talk to me. What's your opinion? Is it Tenag or Eddie Howe?
Well, for me, I think both managers will be sacked, but it now depends on who gets sacked first. But in that case, no.
Weekend!
It's a given. It's a given. Looking at Ten Hag, I don't think Ten Hag will survive that.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. But looking at who will get sacked first, it will be Eddie Howe, because it seems the project is getting bigger and the project is becoming wider and bigger, far more than its reach. And based on his technical nous, it might not be that manager to take Newcastle to the next level based on the owners, their dream, their projections, and what they are looking at achieving in the nearest future. So Eddie Howe would be the one that will most likely get sacked.
All right.
Despite Ten Hag too will get sacked.
Wicked! Man,
but sorry, I have a question though. And this is a honest question, please, to everyone. Looking at what Newcastle have faced this season, with all those injuries they've had across the board, it got to a point where even their bench was filled with academy players. If any manager, like say a Pep Guardiola or a club or whoever was in their position, would they have been able to steady the ship? Would they have been able to steady the ship for Newcastle? That's an open question for everybody. I'll be willing to ask.
All right, that'll be later because of our time. Mark, I'm going to turn to you by welcoming also Magis joining us. Also, Prof is also joining us. But let me ask you, Mark, first. Who do you think is going to get sacked? Is it Ten Hag or Eddie Howe? Or me? Talk to me.
No, God forbid you get sacked. No, we want to keep it for as long as possible.
Thank you.
So to answer the question, I think I will share the sentiments of Elise. Both of these managers will eventually get sacked, but the more likely to get sacked of the two is Eddie Howe. And I think it will be difficult for anybody on this group to say otherwise, because feelers from both clubs show that people are more sympathetic about the plight of Eric Ten Hag than Eddie Howe. So, in all fairness, he's not really a big name coach when we compare him to other coaches that have come and gone in the English Premier League. And his record is not really helping him. In the last 12 games in all competitions, he has lost 8. That is a woeful performance. That is abysmal performance. And for the kind of money that Newcastle have spent, the project they have them to build is not looking like the kind of manager that will lead them down the right path. And pillars from both clubs is showing that. I just read it just now on Team Talk that he has been given a 3-game warning. They have given him a 3-game ultimatum to turn things around. Otherwise, another coach will come in, and people are already starting to talk about, wait for it, Jose Mourinho. So I don't know whether that will see the light of day, but of course, he's looking more like it.
EPL on fire. All right, Talk to me, Prof. I don't want to put Poch there. I don't want to put Pochettino there. I just want to put Eric Ten Hag and Eddie Howe. Tell me something. Talk to me, Prof.
It's looking more like Eddie Howe, because at the end of the day, with the kind of money that Newcastle have, you would like to think they need a very big manager and the kind of players they would love to also attract in the future. He has done so much for them already, but sometimes there's only so much you can do as a manager like this who has not worked with the biggest players. So for me, I think on this list, I would say Eddie Howe is more likely to get the sack. They want to invest, they want to attract bigger.
Eddie Howe, let me give you Uber. Get ready for Uber traffic. Agi, Margaret, talk to me. Don't tell me Eric Ten Hag, please. Talk to me. Which one will get sacked first?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint you, girl. Good evening, everyone, and wherever you're watching from. Before I quickly answer that question, I remember a few times ago, someone here was actually advocating for Ten Hag, but today I'm just surprised that he said he would likely go. But back to your question, Eddie Howe, I think on the other way, let's give him credit. He has been able to take Newcastle to the Champions League. He has tried, and since the takeover of Newcastle, since they got a new sugar that the club to get a more experienced manager to take over Newcastle. I didn't actually expect him to still be at the club till now. So I think he'll go first before everything.
Oh my goodness, Eddie Ten Hag, save. All right. Only mission, arrange Uber for those, the first manager to go. On behalf of ISTV, arrange Uber. All right, let's move on. It's massive tonight, I tell you. Let's look at the paper talk, club versus country dilemma for AFCON players. I'm going to call on this guy, Robbie. How do you think it's going to affect? Look at that paper talk, clubs versus country dilemma for AFCON players. Is it really going to affect most of the clubs in Europe?
Yes, it is. AFCON is set to affect most of the clubs in Europe. Let's not forget that over the course of the year, some of the coaches in Europe have not been too happy with the particular timing of AFCON. I think there was the last AFCON, there was this issue with the statement credited to Jurgen Klopp. And of course, I think he made something that was taken out of context, calling AFCON a little tournament. And that was more or less because of the fact that he lost Salah and Sadio Mane to that particular tournament. But looking at the contribution of African players, most especially in EPL, a club like Luton has about 3, 4, 5 African players in their rank. And of course, Nottingham Forest should be thanking the heavens because Tarawoni is injured. If not, they possibly would have missed his services. For Liverpool, they will miss Salah. No matter how you try to sugarcoat it, they will miss Salah. For other teams in the EPL as well, even United will miss Andre Onana, despite the fact that, yes, he has not been his best at the club. And if you begin to take a census of other clubs in Europe who would lose players to the AFCON. This is one tournament that happens twice every 2 years.
Yes.
And it tells you how regular it is compared to the Euros that is played every 4 years. The World Cup is played every 4 years, but for the AFCON, it is scheduled every 2 years. So for clubs, most especially at this time when they need the firepower and of course the kind of contributions African players bring to their team, they will miss them badly. And it remains to be seen how much this will affect the team. But indeed, let's say maybe at the end of February, when the old dust settles down, we will get to see how much of this input of African players they will miss in their squad.
All right. Let's move on to this one. I'm going to direct it quickly to Kunle. Kunle, give me these vibes. Success will take time and patience. Do you agree with this man? Saying we don't have, I'm telling you, I don't have time for all this patience. Do what you want to do. Talk to me, Kunle.
Yes, Ratcliffe is right 100% because you don't expect a club where things on the football side have been a mess for over a decade. You don't expect success to be instant, right? I mean, even when the likes of Manchester City were taken over first by a Thailand billionaire and then the Abu Dhabi football group. I mean, it took them almost 4 years before they could win their first Premier League title, and look at how even long it took them to win the Champions League. So it actually even took them so long to be called among Europe's elite, right? Manchester United have been far from anything like that over the years. So it's going to take a lot of restructuring on the football side of things from top to bottom. It's going to take a lot. A lot of things are going to have to change. And when we are going to be making such, for me, those changes even have to be drastic, to be honest. Those changes need to be drastic. And it will take time, right, to put things in place. So Ratcliffe is right. Success will take time and patience. But the question you should not ask is, are the fans going to be patient? Is the media going to be patient enough to do that? But definitely be patient.
All right,
hold on.
No, hold on. I want to quickly ask you this, Bishop. Quick one. We have so many things to discuss tonight. But I just want to ask you something, Bishop. Maybe in 15 seconds you can ask me. I mean, you can answer me. Do you believe we need time and patience in Manchester United? With this comment from Ratcliffe.
We don't.
In 50 seconds.
We need the ruthless billionaire like Abramovich to come and take this thing up. This patient,
for you.
They are telling us that Fernand is taking. You are going to leave him there. That's what they are saying. You are leaving him there. That's what you are saying. You are not signing player on time. That's what you are saying. You are not fixing the thing that is guilty. That's what you are saying. You need patience and time. For what?
For what?
You're that we need a ruthless manager like no manager.
It go better for you. God bless you.
Look at how Chelsea has become. Chelsea has become so dumb. You might blame the guy that sacking does not work, but he gives them trophies to overtake their rivals. So this is what we need. We need ruthless people that can deal with managers, players, and directors when necessary.
All right. If I ask Maggie now, Maggie is out. Okay, I'll come back to that. All right, let's move on. The club focus for today. We are going down to this club. I can tell you, I can give you the description to where this club is at Emirates. We are going to the Emirates tonight. We want to bombard Arsenal. It's becoming a deja vu at this moment. I want to clear out. Please and please, I want to clip this as a video. I want to showcase this. I want to design it, restructure it, and put it to the public. Anybody comment on this? Be precise, be eloquent, be audible. Let people hear you so well. Critical situation is becoming to be a deja vu. But first, I'm going to start with Nubia Prince. Nubia Prince, are you ready for me? Loud and clear. Please reduce the voice from your background. No noise.
No noise.
Yes,
no.
Go for it. All right, let's do this.
So what exactly is the argument now? For me, I actually think that we are making so much of noise over just the third loss of the season. Everybody has had their fair share of losses, fair share of surprise results. And I think, yes, Arsenal need a bit of rejigging in terms of bringing in a striker. But I still think that even with that squad, Arsenal can actually win the Premier League. Now, I'm not going to get gaslighted by naysayers because they keep saying, oh, Arsenal cannot win the league without a striker. But I keep saying City won the league several times with Gabriel Jesus. They didn't have a top nine. They had a Gabriel Jesus and they were scoring goals and they won the league. So it's not really about the top nine yesterday. Without the top nine yesterday, Arsenal could have scored more than enough goals. Saka hit the bar. Gabriel Jesus had 2 glaring chances. Odegaard had a good shot that was saved by Areola. So sometimes, even with Haaland, we have seen City lose games, despite having Haaland, who is arguably the most prolific striker in the world at the moment. Yes, they lost games. So I would say Arsenal fans and of course the general public pundits should not just get overboard and start saying, oh, they lost the game yesterday and now Arsenal cannot win the league. They need to go to the transfer market and splash the cash. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes when you splash the cash, it could come back to haunt you because at the moment, Arsenal is a team. They are playing as a unit. Now, if you are bringing in another striker, another player, you decide to bring in 4 players because you feel you've been decimated by injuries, you might destabilize the harmony in the dressing room because at the end of the day, let's not forget that there will be Euros next year. Some players will feel threatened and you could cause issues. So for me, I would say that yes, if you can get 1 or 2 additions, fantastic. And we even said that you bring in a player in January and he's going to hit the ground running. That's another issue because Tony is not going to come cheap. Be it loan fee, be it transfer, permanent transfer, it's not going to come cheap. What if he does not hit the ground running? We expect him to hit the ground running because he has Premier League experience. But what if he doesn't? Pochettino has Premier League experience. Did he hit the ground running? Postecoglou does not have Premier League experience. He came in and he hit the ground running. So oftentimes you come in and you might not even hit the ground running. So I would say that yes, try and get a striker, but even if you don't, these guys can work on their finishing. Martinelli can get better. I don't know what's wrong with him this season. He did way better last season. He had better goal condition last season, but his goal condition has dropped. But I think he can do better. Now, if you look at the stats, you discover that yes, Arsenal has scored lesser goals this season, but they've also considered lesser goals. And going by the words of Sir Alex Ferguson, that said that the striking, your striking department, your attack will not win you titles. It will win you matches, but your defense is going to win you titles. So Arsenal have built a good defense, good enough defense to actually build their title challenge on. Yes, they need to work on that, but whether they buy a striker or not, I feel if everybody contributes their fair share of goals, Arsenal can actually clinch the title.
How many
goals did Chelsea score?
All right.
2005.
Now, thank you so much, Nubia Prince. Prof, this issue of Arsenal is becoming a deja vu. But which way is the title race going? Look, let me show you the league table now. We are just look at the league table. All of us are fine. Liverpool 42 now, Arsenal 40. The way things are going, Prof, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Do you think the way things are going, Arsenal should be careful? You know, I mean, they should be careful.
Prof, remove that smile from your face first and foremost.
This is a club that I love, so I'm always passionate about it.
I can't believe this guy loves Arsenal.
So, to be honest, right? Look, for me, there should not be about Arsenal. I don't think it's that bad at this moment in time. Okay, so the only reason why we're having so much uproar that they lost the game at home to West Ham is because I keep saying it. It is fine margins. They got very close last season. So you're always bound. I wrote something about it on WhatsApp earlier this season. I said it. Any slight defeat like this, the Arsenal fans will have this because they still have PTSD from last season where they led for so long and they lost it at 9 minutes to City. So the margins they know that the margins are very, very slim. I was watching the Arsenal fan supporters, but most of them are very, very, very annoyed, very angry about the defeat. It's not a bad defeat. You can lose a home game to West Ham. It's not the end of the world. You pick yourself up from there. But they know that you're against a monster in Manchester City who is here to have Haaland, Doku, and De Bruyne back. We know what these people can do. So the margin for error is so slim. And that's why we can have top feels like deja vu for Arsenal. For me, it's not a bad defeat. The defense, like Nubren Prince said, it's fantastic. They have, for me, the best defense in the league, the best DMF in the league as well. I've said it, but the attack is not what it is last season. And I pointed out this early in the season that you've taken care of the back line at the midfield, gotten a world-class DMF in Declan Rice, but what has happened to the attack? Saka is underperforming as far as I'm concerned. A lot of Arsenal fans thought that Martinelli has been non-existent, in my opinion. He's done nothing this season. Jesus is not a striker to win the title. You know, it is not Man City that has the likes of De Bruyne, Silva when he was there and all that. This is an Arsenal side. A vocal point. They need a striker that can put the ball in the back of the net at least 25 to 30 goals, but they don't have that. And this is why I criticized them at the beginning of the season at Teta, that you should not have taken 65 million of your money with FFP bring down your neck and go and get a Kai Havertz who would not do the same 20 goals. So that's why I said you should have gone get a striker, a different dynamic striker. Now look, yesterday they had 30 shots, but nobody in the box put the ball at the back of the net. They had a dynamic striker, somebody who was taller, who is in the box striker. He would have possibly got the goal for them. And this is what I think might be their Achilles heel. They don't have a dynamic striker.
All right. Mark, quick.
Sorry, you said something. You said something that somebody that is taller and somebody that is box to box. So what is Advert? Advert is taller than all the strikers they have there. Advert is box to box. So what is it?
Sorry, I can't hear you, Bishop. You're not audible enough.
Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, you said they needed somebody that was taller yesterday.
A more dynamic striker, that can put the ball in the back of the net.
So what is Advert? Is Advert not dynamic?
Advert was never.
Advert is not a striker.
The striker is playing as the AMF.
They don't use striking role for Arsenal. He has been playing box to box. You guys should stop
he's not.
Please don't go to this guy again. You guys should leave. He won't play yesterday.
We won't leave them alone, Bishop.
This is not about Advert.
When Chelsea won the league in 2005, their top striker was Lampard. That was their end scorer. He didn't score 20 league goals.
All right.
They had less than 10 league goals.
All right, let me ask Mark. Mark,
the problem is that there was no Man City then. There was no Man City. You're against Pep and Man City now. It's fine. That was Arsenal.
That season, Henry scored 25 league goals. That was Manchester United that had good values to Roy. Yeah, Chelsea won the league.
I would like to say something, if you don't mind.
All right, please hold on.
I would like to say something about Arsenal. Yeah, see, I'm only saying this because Arsenal are the team that I love the most in England because of how they play. I can see some very similitude with what Barcelona does and Ajax and all the other teams I love. And I've seen them, I think I've been seeing them since 1997. So over the years, I think I can say some things about them. The problem that I think Arsenal has, the problem they are having is, for me, it's like more of mental. It's like at some point in the season, they get this mental block when they needed to be the most psychologically effective. And that is their greatest undoing. We have seen this scenario time and again. Arsenal have simply run out of excuses. If it is not money, then it will be a striker, then it will be injuries, then it will be some things that the coach is doing wrong, some tactics that are not right. They have explored all that. We have seen it time and again. Last season was a great, they were on top for 248 days at the top of the table.
Yes.
When it mattered the most, that was when they crumbled like a pack of cards. This cannot be happening. Arsenal need, maybe somebody in the club should give a crash course to the players on how to have a good mental block that you can have for the rest of the season, so that you can have what is called the stuff of champions. Arsenal, I'm not saying that there are no problems on the pitch here and there, but they have what it takes to rule England. They can really do it. They have that thing. They've been showing us time and again with the type of football they play that they can do it. But they just need to stabilize mentally so that they can finish the race and cross
they have
the line.
to stabilize mentally. I love that word. I love that phrase. Bishop, you want to talk to me about Arsenal? Deja vu for Arsenal this moment.
I would have loved football gods to go first.
No. It's not giving me any sign. Deja vu is coming. He already said if
I want to be entertained because right now I'm already entertained.
Oh, I'm fantastic.
I'm already entertained.
I remember this word. I remember this word. If Arteta and Emery did not win the league, they should be sacked. I remember.
There were 3 managers: Klopp, Arteta, and Unai Emery. Allows Man
City.
Okay, so let's just start from Deja vu for Arsenal. So they've been there before, just like everybody has said, mental block, everything. To me, I believe it still boils down to the manager. Leave this mentality something. The guy is stubborn and adamant to some style that is not ready to change. And I will see it. I'm not going to blame his 65 billion pounds on advance on because that's not the issue here. That is not the reason why they lost yesterday, and that is not the reason why they will not be able to go through the line. The reason is just because you've reviewed that team from last season, and they don't have said it. If I was Arsenal after the first side game, I'm going to sack Arteta because from last season to now they've been worse. I know I used to not agree. From last season to this season, they've been worse, and they lost just one player. You lost just one player, and your team became worse like that. A player that was even divided between the fans. The fans don't 50% of the fans don't want him, 50% want him. So it's good that the guy left. Fine. Find a replacement. And you couldn't find a replacement for that guy, and everything has turned on you. The players are not playing well. The players that were performing, Martinelli, everybody was mentioning Martinelli, Saka. Those guys are average. Last season, they did a very above average job. But this season, they have gone back to their average level. Why didn't you buy a player like Kudus? A Kudus that was selling himself to you, playing all around the internet for you. You couldn't secure his services as a backup to Saka. Which of yesterday, if they have a Kudus, and you can see what Saka is, I believe Kudus would have improved Saka a lot. He would have been able to challenge that position effectively with him. But he preferred to keep a Nelson. Come on. Those kind of stubbornness and decisions warrant a sack. I don't know why the board has not given him more time.
All right. Margaret, calm down. We don't have any issues at Manchester United, right? Or we have? Maggie?
I want to talk about Arsenal, not about Manchester United.
All right, talk to me about this quickly.
Okay, concerning Arsenal, I will go with Mark with his view that they have to be mentally stable. I actually do not agree with what Nubian Prince said about buying players that people should not be just because they lost one. But the Arsenal that I know, that we all know, when once it gets to a certain time of the season, they flop. And they have this, there's just something about that when once they lose a match, it affects them. It affects the next one and then the next one. And before you know, the Arsenal you're seeing from the top, you're seeing them third or fourth position. Doesn't make well. As I said I said it on the group. See, it is during this period you get to know a champion. This period is not when you lose the game. It's not when you lose the point. Because if you want to know who wins the league, it is during these festive fixtures that you see them. United have tried that. At the end of the first half of the season, they are at the top, and at the end of the day, they went on to win the league. Same with City, same with Chelsea. I don't see it. It's actually very hard to see a club being second by the end of the year and then go on to win the league. It's actually rare. It's always the first. So right now, I don't think it's about Arsenal buying players. They need to get that mentality. They need to get that momentum, that consistency. That is what they need. It is not players. They have those players. They have good players, but it's just that they don't have it. They don't have that winning mentality. That is not in them.
Don, let me ask you a question. I just want to ask you a question. We all keep on saying mentality. Where do a team get the mentality from?
All right, Kunle, I want to ask you something, Kunle, quickly before we move on to the next one. Which
Yes.
way is the title race going now? Look at the table. Which way?
Um,
It's
for me,
look at it. Look,
for me, title race is very open.
it's
I've
still
seen
open,
when
right?
you very, very open. And look at it. The Arsenal that we're saying are just 2 points. City is 6 points behind. Anything can happen again. Liverpool, let's not forget, Liverpool are going to lose their most influential player for about a month. So that can impact Arsenal. Arsenal in this case do not really have that. I think the only African they have is Thomas Partey, and he's even presently injured. And Arsenal have been getting results without him. Gone were the days when Partey doesn't play, there will be that excuse of, oh, no Partey. At least he hasn't played a very large part of this season. Then you look at City. Erling Haaland is still out. We don't know when he's going to come back. Maybe Kevin De Bruyne is nearing a return, but you wonder when is Kevin De Bruyne going to come back to that fitness and all. So even Manchester City have their own issues as well. So I think this season we are seeing, and then let's not forget, we are seeing what West Ham are doing. We are seeing the Brightons. These are teams that are hurting teams. So, like, away from the traditional title contenders, you are actually having more teams who are actually hurting these title contenders, making it all open. So, for me, I think it's going to be so premature for us to be saying that the title that exists. No, there's actually truth in it too. That yes, that you can't afford to lose some. But come on, it's not like there are still 19 games to go. I think maybe we can start having discussion. Fine, they have a game in hand, but for me, it still doesn't change anything because it's not going to bring them closer to the top. Because even if they do that, then they will be, I think, they will be 3 points, right? Fine, but they are not at the top yet. So I think this discussion will be better when we get to March, entering April. That's when we can really make a true picture. Because I think that February period is going to be the defining period. So we have January to really assess things. And then when we get to February, I think that's when we can revisit this to really know where the title is going.
All right, Kunle, thank you so much. Let's go down.
My take. Now I'm gonna have my take. I said I wanted everybody to just say theirs, and I've heard.
Oh my goodness, Football God is back.
Have your take. Have your take, Gary. Have your take.
Open up, go on.
Definitely, I need to have my take because if I don't have my take, then who is gonna have his own take?
All right.
I heard Mark say's mentality, and also Margaret alluded to that. I hear Prof said striker, and I love the rebuttal of Nuba Prince. I just love the way his rebuttal on that striker narrative because really, we've seen teams win the league without their main top 9 banging in over 20 goals. Even in the Manchester United days, we've seen it happen. Even in the season Arsenal won the league, it wasn't the top 9 that scored the highest goal. We had Wiltord and we had Kanu there. Hardly did they play. But I would like to address you, Don, being the one that crafted this topic.
Sorry, Football God. When Arsenal won the league, Henry was the top scorer. Please.
Henry wasn't the top 9. You heard
he was the top scorer in the league. 23-24
season.
Let's hear
his question.
Henry was not the top 9. Why are you arguing?
No.
Henry was playing from the wings. Come on.
Let's hear the
Don't
question.
interrupt my thoughts, please. Henry was not the top 9. So please, let's try to listen before. Let's not just jump the gun. Let's try to listen.
I'm listening to you.
Henry was not, let me just correct Raymond. Henry was not the top 9. We had a Dennis Beckham, we had Wiltord, and we had Kanu playing in that position. Even the season Manchester United won the Champions League and won the league 2008, if I'm not mistaken, Ronaldo was playing from the wings. It was the highest goal scorer, scoring 40 goals. So we've seen it. It's not as if it's hypothetical. It's in reality. We've seen teams win the league without their top 9 banging in over 20 goals.
I want you
Manchester
to go back
City
to
has
this
done that.
now.
Yeah, so if this had happened in April, possibly you could have said deja vu. Maybe if this had happened in April, if Arsenal had lost a game like this, ahead in the table, maybe this topic would have really, really pulled that traction. Maybe. But I'm going to follow Kunle's thoughts. It's just 19 games. And it's not as if Arsenal is like 10 points away from the top position, or within that top 4, they're like 8 points or 7 points adrift. It's still open. Anything can happen. And I would like to just go on a different route here. A lot of people come with their guns whenever it comes to Arsenal. This is a project that a manager that has never, ever in his entirety, in his life, managed a team. This is his first job. And let's don't forget, it is a project. We could say the project is quite fast ahead. But 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line, this is where Arteta has taken this project to. Competing for the EPL, fine. They gave up. They didn't have that coordination, or they didn't have that, I wouldn't call it mentality, because a team that goes how many games unbeaten, you can't tell me they don't have that mentality to win. Things just didn't happen for them, and they crumbled. Like everybody would say, the bottled it, gave Manchester City that privilege to win it. So this is just December. We're still in December. So all of a sudden, are you telling me because they lost against West Ham, that means they are not going to win the title? If anybody comes and tells us that, then Manchester City that have lost 3 already, or Liverpool that could possibly lose on Monday, who knows? So I just feel it's a hard call. We should just take it a step. We should just take it a pace. It's just a game. Nobody, as an Arsenal fan, I wasn't happy that we lost to West Ham. And if you look at putting things into proper context, look at that game. I would just term it as a bad day in the office. Like Nubia Prince said, if those chances had gone in, if those little chances, the ball that Saka played, that hit the crossbar, if it had gone in, the Gabriel Jesus header, the penalty, we've seen such penalty given, the tackle from Susek on Gabriel Jesus, the leg that what's his name, Ogbonna brought out on Saka, we've seen those penalty given without any issue. But it was just a bad day in the office. Now to come out loud, to just label the team and say they don't have mentality, I just feel it's too harsh, one. Secondly, to just come out and say it's game over because they lost against West Ham. Nothing. You don't see anything good. They need a striker. Last season, there was no top 9, but they led the league for how many days, as Mark said it, 200 and something days. That is the pointer. 248 days. So if you were a manager, you look at the positives, because right now, what everybody would just be bringing at you, and I dare to say, if it was all of you that was in Arteta's shoes, would you just open your ears and be listening to all the negatives that everybody have said here, apart from Kule that said something positive? You would not want to listen. You would want to look at the positive.
If I have said that they need to stabilize mentally.
Don't interrupt now. Yeah, when you guys are done, allow me to finish.
If I said they need to stabilize mentally, it is not negative. How is that negative?
No, please, can I finish my line?
Because of my time.
Yes, I'm rounding up. I'm rounding up. So, like I'm saying, Arteta,
allow the man talk now. Allow him to finish his point first.
Only focus on the positives. Being what he has done for the past, nobody gave us no chance. When he took up this project, all the naysayers, all the cynics were criticizing us. Now you're giving someone who is inexperienced, someone who is a con man, who was assistant to Guardiola. But this guy has proven his mettle. He has shown that he can do X, Y, Z. Now that is, excuse me, now allow me to round up, man.
Let him finish now. We'll attack him later.
There's nothing to attack here. All of them are no rich now. Yeah, I did. So this is a manager that has taken an Arsenal team. Look at the performance last season, the best ever since you've seen with the Invincibles. And he has continued on that state. Yes, it's a project, but he's on that pedestal to achieve what it is. And I just feel it is foolhardy for anybody to come at this time to say Arsenal is over. They cannot win the league. When the title race is on, 2 points adrift. Yes. And just to round up my point, we need to also consider where this team is coming from. Fine, you might say they need a striker, but I'm just going to follow the thought process of Nubian Prince. I am advocating for a striker. But what if the striker comes in and it doesn't fit in? For me, the only thing I'll just say is let Arteta concentrate on the positives, build on it, and the only thing I'll take out from what Margaret said, which is the positive thing, this is the best time to lose so that you can focus and see on how you can contest for the league. As for me, no bells, no alarm at all, no issue. But you just need to work on things and get them prepared for the running, which is in March.
Okay.
Come up. I'm ready. I'm ready for answers. I'm ready for your question. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Please.
Yep.
Okay. Because of my time. All right. We are still going to talk so many things. We'll come back to this. After this club.
Sorry, John. Sorry. You will come up to it. You know, I just like people to when you say things, just come up with facts. Don't just concentrate on only Arsenal. I can point teams within the EPL. 1998, when Arsenal won the league, Manchester United led up until April when Wenger took over. Because I can see the message Mark is dropping here. It's not only Arsenal that bottles the league. Liverpool has bottled the league. Manchester United has been long now. Your own has been long. So what are you saying? What are you saying?
It has taken a decade. It has taken a decade. Even you said before, don't tire by now.
Well.
Record is with you. The bottle record is with you. It's with you, Arsenal. The record is with you. What are you saying?
You know why I'm not going to answer you, Prof? You know why I'm not going to answer you, Prof? I'm waiting for this weekend.
All right. Let's move on.
Wait, what's this weekend?
No. I'm waiting for the moment Chelsea would lose.
Leave Chelsea out of this.
You will come on like this and talk football. I'm just waiting.
Chelsea out of this. Right. Chelsea has the youngest squad. Arsenal has the second youngest squad. Chelsea is second. Arsenal is second. So what's the youngest squad again?
Let's move on.
John, I'm done. You can continue.
John, sorry, can I just say something? Sorry.
No.
I find it laughable.
No. Hold on. The results for trying to pull up something. 1 second, please.
Don, you wanted to go into the fixture for next weekend.
All right, thank you so much.
That was what you're about.
All right. We're having this. The fixtures for this weekend. It's starting with Luton versus Chelsea and Aston Villa. That's fixtures 20. That's game 20. Aston Villa versus Burnley. Crystal Palace also focusing on Brentford. We're coming to that Crystal Palace game, and also Man City, Sheffield United. Wolves will be welcoming Everton, and also Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. On Sunday, that's 31st of December, Arsenal, that's another tough game. We're going to talk about it, and also Spurs be welcoming Burnley. And on January 1st, that's Monday, it's going to be Liverpool versus Newcastle. On Tuesday, we have West Ham versus Brighton. Let me look for something. This is one of the big games, almost every game, but the focus will be much on Arsenal and Liverpool versus Newcastle. Liverpool will be facing Newcastle. I think, Mark, you said something about if this guy loses to 3 games.
Yes, that's what they gave him. 3 games within the club. It's not like official, but within the club, he's asked to turn the season around with the next 3 games, and if not, a new manager will be brought in. And some people are actually saying they want Mourinho, a big name coach, to lead the project.
All right. Now, because of our time, I'm going to change to the CAF competition coming up this January. Let's quickly talk about that. I don't know. Raymond, can you hear me loud and clear? I think I lost. Raymond, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Can you tell us what IST
Can you hear me as well?
Yeah, I can hear you. What should we be expecting in CAF Côte d'Ivoire 2023?
Okay, thank you, Don. So we're having AFCON journey with the Super Eagles. Basically, the main focus will be on the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and we'll be creating so many attractions, especially on our Twitter handle, to make sure that we get a lot of attractions, a lot of people talking. One of it is the daily challenge that will be happening every day from January 1 to 31st, and it's all around Super Eagles alone. And that also includes some match predictions and giveaways in there. We'll also be having storytelling about Super Eagles' past participation at AFCON, and I've got two of Nigeria's most experienced journalists who will be taking us through that edition by edition, and that will also be in January. It could extend a bit because we'll try as much as possible to cover as much edition as we can, and that will be happening every 2 days. That will be Tuesdays and Wednesdays, each day till the end of January. And of course, as well, we'll also be going to the street to shoot some videos, get fan talking, a lot of this together package, all just for Super Eagles as we monitor Nigeria at AFCON. That will be taking place in Ivory Coast. That will be next year, and all this for everybody who will be joining us as well. So that's just the short package. Historical fact, giveaway, storytelling, daily challenge, all this and many more in January before AFCON kicks off, and of course during AFCON, and hopefully Super Eagles go farther than we expect, or even win the competition. But then all hands on deck.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much for that. Let's quickly look at the 25-man squad list. Kunle, you follow Super Eagles so well. Are you confident with this list? Confident with this list?
Yeah. Increase the? Can you please? Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. It's the kind of list that I expected. It was going to be packed with defenders and attackers, and of course less of midfielders. It was so predictable. I could practically tell the midfielders that are going to be there, but maybe Raphael Onyedika. But looking at it, everything is the goalkeepers. Uzoho was definitely going to be there. Leke Ojo, Stanley Nwabili. Maybe I didn't see that coming, but I guess that's the slots that MPFL, the MPFL, MPFL players would get in the defense. We still have the true seconds. A player that I feel we shouldn't be having, but it's what it is. But Ola, all familiar faces. I don't know, but yeah, then the attack is oozing with quality from Osimhen to Boniface to Moses Simon, Ahmed Musa. I know some people will not be happy with Ahmed Musa, but one thing that I always tell is Ahmed Musa is the experienced player in that team. An experience counts, even if he won't play. His experience, his experience and what he can tell to the younger players goes a long way. You understand? So I don't see any problem with his inclusion, even if he doesn't play. But at least it shows that at least there's some experience there. So I think this is a relatively good squad. My only problem is when we get to face the bigger teams, starting with Ivory Coast, who we appeared in the same group with. How do we get to there? Or when you get to play an Egypt, or when you get to play with Senegal, that's what's going to happen. How will these defenders be able to handle it? How will you understand? Because if you look at through the qualifiers, one thing that has always been missing in these Super Eagles is there is no synergy, there is no chemistry, there is no understanding between them, and you can't go that way. You can't go that way to AFCON proper. There needs to be a plan. There needs to be a structure. There needs to be a strategy. That is what wins you big competitions like this. You understand? So I wish them all the best. I'm not going to talk negative or anything about them. It's less than 20 days away. I wish them all the best. And what?
Why?
I understand.
You said you don't want to talk negative about them or something.
No, there is nothing. No, I can't talk negative because the squad has been out. So we are going to have to deal with this squad. Yeah, we have to deal with this squad. So we just have to wish them the best at this point, rather than try to be. Because I know some people will be like, "Hey, this player should have come. This player should have." This is the squad we have, so we have no choice but to wish them well in Ivory Coast. May they do well. That's all we can say.
All right, Robbie. You've been covering this. You've been covering this AFCON, and when this list came out, is it what you're expecting? Because me, I will tell you, Ahmed Musa is. I don't know. Somebody say experience. I mean, talk to me.
Well, I think I would talk more on Ahmed Musa than the full squad, because from what I just got, that is more or less like an inside scoop into what is going on the mind of the coach. Ahmed Musa is somebody that is needed in the team, not because of anything. Yes, he's currently playing in Turkey. He's not playing regularly for his team, but just like Kole rightly said, he has gone to this tournament not once, not twice. He has an idea of what to expect. This team is not the best on paper, if I'm actually going to put it together. But just like Kole also said again, the team has been chosen. There is nothing anybody can do about it, other than just to hope and pray that this team goes all the way to do their best for Nigeria. And of course, for me, I think the only surprise in this team is seeing somebody like Trus Ekong back in the side. But all we can do also is the fact that we just have to wish the team the very best. Francis Uzor is the usual suspect, and I would say it categorically that I believe that Uzor possibly might play all the games till maybe Nigeria meets their Waterloo in the later stages of the game. I don't really see a change in the goalkeeping department. Francis Uzor will be in goal. Even if he concedes 20 goals against Ivory Coast, he will play the second match, he will play the third match. So I think going forward, we just have to make do with this team and hope that they do well at the end of the day.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark.
I want to point out something, please. Ahmed Musa also won. I just want to point out that Ahmed Musa won the AFCON in 2013. He was part of that team.
Yes.
So just to add to that the experience that he has, he was part of that team. I just wanted to add that.
Okay, good. Let me quickly go because of that. I say other people want to speak.
Yes.
First, Ahmed Musa, for me personally, he cannot do more than what he has done, and I think that he's basically past his prime, even with his experience. I want to see more input, more effectiveness from the younger players. People, especially for me, especially Victor Osimhen, because he's coming into this competition as the African Footballer of the Year. So he has done it in the Italian league, which is a major league. Fantastic, well done, good job. Now come to Africa and show us. So for me, anything less than a semi-final showing is a failure. And lastly, yes, it's a failure. And lastly, the Super Eagles need to show with this outing, they need to show Nigeria that they are hopeful of making it to the World Cup. This should be a dress rehearsal for them to do well, so that they can now take that into the World Cup qualifiers. We are playing South Africa the next game, and that is a must win, so that they can now instill in us the hope that we have something good to see from them. That's all.
Well, I'm going to ask Aiz, are you confident with this going to AFCON with this squad? People have been saying...
when Kunle was talking, I wanted to chip in something, but thank God everybody has the opportunity to say something. It's not about speaking negatively about the list. You can criticize, and when you criticize constructively. For me, looking at this list is a set of failure, because what baffles me is look at the number of midfielders. You're going with just 5 number of midfielders, and in that midfield position, I don't see any creative midfielder in there. Even Alex Iwobi plays from the wings. Frank Onyeka is a more defensive or essential midfielder. Joe Aribo too, the same. Rafael Oyedika, I've heard much of him, but Wilfred Ndidi. Majorly, players that play the same position. Look at the number of defenders. Look at the number of forwards. I feel we could just taken a bit of a chunk of those forwards and look for a way we can bolster that midfield, because midfield seems to be our issue. I'm not even going to talk about the goalkeeping situation, because looking at these goalkeepers, no spine, nothing. Look at the team entirely. There is no spine from the goalkeeping position up onto the midfield. Say, okay, Wilfred Ndidi. But we all know Wilfred Ndidi is past his prime. Look, the forward, the only person we can talk about is Osimhen. What if Napoli plays the politics they played in the last Nations Cup and make him not to honor the invitation? What happens to us? We'll be left there. For me, I'm going to
He's in camp already.
Yes, he's in camp. Well, thank God for that. No politics this time around. But I'm going to criticize this. And the person I expect to criticize it more is Robbie, because you go to the Nigerian leagues, you go from each center to one center to watch the Nigerian league. What is the impact of this list to Nigerian football, our local football? I'm sure if you look at the Egyptian national squad, there will be a certain percentage of their players from the national league. If you look at the South African national team, you see a chunk of a percentage of them from their local league. What is happening to our local league? We hear a lot of amounts is being churned in to that league just to sponsor it. And at the end of the day, no player is deemed worthy to represent the national team. Sikiru Alimi is one that stands out. Sikiru Alimi should be in this squad ahead of Ahmed Musa, because I don't see what Ahmed Musa has to offer. And I dare to say with my chest, if anybody wants to call me out, let them call me out. If they want to clip this video, let them clip this video.
We're there behind you.
And constructively give my point, while Ahmed Musa should not be in this squad. And it's Sikiru Alimi, who plays for, Robbie, please remind me of the squad, his team again.
Remo Stars. He has 11 goals.
Remo Stars, thank you.
He has Remo.
He should be in this team. There's also another player, one beautiful winger. He plays for this Sporting Lagos. I've forgotten his name. The guy is the best. He should be in this squad. So the people constructing this squad, they have questions, and we're going to criticize them whether they like it or not. That's just my valid point.
Okay, quick one before we round up. I think the issue right now is the fact that the atmosphere right now is a place of let us wait and see what happens. When the professional list was dropped, if you had come to Twitter, you would have seen how hot Twitter was for one good week. It became a battleground where journalists went head to head against each other, to the point that insults were flying left, right, and center. At this point, whichever player is impressing or doing very well in the league cannot force their way into the list. You have the technical committee who are charged with getting the players who will represent the country, talking about those who have been selected. For the fact that NPFL players have been overlooked is nobody's fault, not even the players' fault. And they all have come out in one voice to say that they deserve to be given a chance to showcase what they can do at the national team. Even the goalkeeper for Bedell Insurance, Amos Obasoji, was dropped. The goalkeeper from Sporting Lagos, who was initially in the professional list, was dropped. And it is just only one NPFL player that is in this list, and that is the goalkeeper for Eyimba, that is Ojo Olorunleke. Now, the issue is everybody is keeping quiet and praying that this team goes all the way to the AFCONs to surprise us all. And I wrote a tweet where I said that if the Super Eagles, just like what Mark said, do not make it to the semifinals or do not even get at least a podium finish, like they say it, there is going to be the devil to pay, because it will be like as if a nuke was dropped in Nigeria and everybody will actually go for everybody's head when this team comes back home. So hence the reason why for now everybody is just like, okay, let us see what happens. Let us see what this team can do. For the players who have been left out, hopefully, maybe after this AFCON, we'll get to have a different scenario where they can also be given a chance to represent the country.
All right, Bishop, over to you. You said you want to say something, Bishop, about this list.
When you come and compare the Egypt, South Africa, Sudan, Algerian league with Nigerian league, we know what goes on in Nigerian league now. Let's not even go there. Those guys always have their national. Tunisia is going to be maybe 40% from their local league. South Africa is the same. Algeria, those North African side, especially, they will bring out those things because their league are standard. When they say standard, they pay well, they play well, commercial is everything you want to. Nigerian football is full of corruption. Nigerian football is full of manipulation.
That is
Nigerian
so.
football is, this is what is killing Nigerian football. It's not because those guys are playing better football than us. We can actually do it in our league, but we don't have leaders that will do us there. So it's not their fault. That being said, I said this when they lost the other match, the World Cup qualifier. This Nations Cup should be and like another avenue for another country, another set of players to do what we see differently from what we are seeing now. Now you are using the same coach, the same players. When they produce the same result, is it now the World Cup qualifier against South Africa you want to use as a test run? Or you are giving the next coach pressure and say you must win this match. You know, if you don't win, you will not go to the World Cup. What do you want him to do? You want him to perform magic? It's not going to work like that. I hear what Robin said, that everybody is just keeping quiet. Nobody wants to criticize anybody, but everybody is waiting for something to happen. Okay, let's say they go and they are out of the group stage. What have we gained from this? No experience. What have we gained from this? No new coach to blend with the team. So it means that the new coach has no match to prepare. He just goes to the 2000 match, and when you lose, you blame him. He's not a good coach. You don't blame those kind of coaches like that. So there should be a plan. Are we going to just represent? Are we going there to win? Are we going there to build for the World Cup? Are we going there for what? These are the plans that should be in place. Not just going there. We know they can't win. This squad, I don't even want to talk about Ahmed Musa. They shouldn't even hear this squad. I don't know why he's even being mentioned. They shouldn't even be in the provisional list. These guys have been. I quickly went to Google to check his appearance. He has just two. 2023, 2024, two. Even Eleni that you have been on injury, has two. What are we saying now? So this kind of thing it's too bad that people that are supposed to talk.
And Kule is saying experience.
You are not saying experience. Why not take a young guy?
It's Kule that likes him.
Okay, but the truth is, like, no, I have a good reason for saying that experience, because the reason why I put it there is because it's always a bone of contention that why is Ahmed Musa there? Why this is people seem to forget that this is the most capped player in the remove Ahmed Musa from that, and please tell me somebody in that team. I don't think there's anybody in that team, maybe save for Alexi Wobi, that I think has up to 5-6 years experience with the Super Eagles. Nobody. So that means most of the players you are seeing there were probably how many of the players you are even seeing there they are in the team that went to the 2018 World Cup. That was probably only Francis Uzoho. You understand? That's what I'm trying to write back. You understand? So I think sometimes
if we know what we are doing as a federation, if we know what we are doing as a footballing country, Ahmed Musa should not be smelling this team. And I'm going to point back to the local league. Do you know there is a percentage of amount of money in dollars that is being given to the local clubs that each of their players represents the national team in any FIFA badged competition?
Yeah.
So now we wonder, the Egyptians, the Algerians, the Moroccans, how did they develop their leagues? These are ways at which you develop your league. A typical example, 2018, Junior Lokosa was taken to the World Cup. Junior Lokosa never featured in any game, despite imagine if he had featured maybe just for 5 minutes or just for a few minutes.
No, he didn't go. He was on the provisional list. He was on the provisional list.
They are always on the provisional list. They've caught a lot of people like that. I don't just.
I'm trying to remember the local. I'm trying to remember the local player that was taken to 2018.
No, he was on the provisional list and he played a warm-up game. I think he was called on for a warm-up game. I think against England, if I'm not mistaken. But he didn't make the final squad.
The whole essence of the point I'm trying to make is this is how we build our local league. Imagine a local player featuring for the country in a FIFA standard competition. There's a certain amount of dollars that comes into that club, and the club can use that amount of money to develop and churn out whatever thing they need to do. So we need to continue to think about our local league in a business way. We can't keep doing this, even in this century. Ahmed Musa is past gone. Let us call a spade a spade.
Margaret,
and not
you want to say something?
please.
Yeah, say something, Margaret. Talk to me. Hold on.
I want to talk still on Ahmed Musa. I want to ask Kunle something. You said being experienced. In 2013, when the Super Eagles won the AFCON under the late Stephen Keshi, who was the most experienced players in that team? It was Mikel Obi. It was Mikel Obi. No, it was the question.
No, it was Joseph Yebo. Joseph Yebo.
No, it couldn't have been.
I Joseph Yebo. It was Yebo and Mikel.
So it's not even Yebo.
Yebo didn't even play. It was on the bench.
No, I think it was even Eyama. Eyama has been keeping for the Super Eagles. It was in 2000 or 2001. So he came in with that was an Eyama.
Joseph Yebo was the oldest.
No, let me go back. Okay, all right, let's go back. Okay, it was Yebo or Mikel. But if you look at those experience, those players who were experienced, who actually were the most experienced on that team, including Mikel, they were serial winners. He was a serial winner, especially Mikel Obi. And at least his inclusion there was more of an inspiration to the players. For Musa, tell me, what inspiration are they going to get from him? It's not like he's a serial winner. It's not like he has won. He's not wasting a particular sport.
Wait,
When can I finish, please? It's just wasting a sport that's supposed to be given to an home-based player, and then you give it to a Musa. I feel it is political. It has nothing to do with experience. It is political.
Yeah, Mark, you made mention about quota.
Yes, not that. Sorry. Let her finish. Finish, please.
And concerning this squad, honestly, I must say that this squad has nothing to offer. They have nothing to offer because under Pesero, we've seen that they've not been convincing enough. So them going to the Nations Cup is more like, I don't know, just to represent, and they are not going there to win anything. Even under Gernot Roy, Super Eagles, they were a bit convincing, but they still went on to flop. Though it wasn't under Gernot Roy, it was under Austin. But under Pesero, honestly, this team have been flopped. They've not been doing well. There's no team play. There is no coordination in this team. And then you're going to the Nations Cup. They should have just given this slot to another team to go there, because these Super Eagles are going there to disgrace Nigeria. That's all.
Quickly.
All right, Mark. Quickly.
So I will not, because of our time, I will not even talk about the Northern quota thing today. Well, I just want to say, Siki Ralimi is 27 years old, and he plays in the local league, and he's doing fantastic. You can drop an Ahmed Musa, who has played 108 games, who is now in his 30s, who is in Sivasspor in Turkey. He's not like he's at the highest level now anymore. Drop him, use the young guy so that we can get goals. But I don't know, the people in the NFF, I've never really trusted them because they love money more than they love their God. And then all they are looking for is people who will settle them, and then they'll put whatever happens, they know that they will make money. At the end of the day, they will sack Pesero, bring in another coach, and it's the same old story. I'm sick of them. I'm sorry.
All right, Raymond, for the last one before we go.
Yeah, well, I think fairly a good squad. I don't think we have any other players. Maybe one or two changes could be in this team, but I think as expected, you could close your eyes and pick what the coach will take to AFCON. Yes, I was expecting a debate on Ahmed Musa, definitely, but I'm not about the squad. Even if you give Pesero the best squad in the world, he's not going to do anything with it. So I'm never about the squad. I'm about the coach himself. You look at his record with Super Eagles, there is nothing he's going to offer. So debating on the squad is like, for me, it's like a waste of time. The coach himself, Jose Pesero, what can he make do with this squad? What can he do with this squad? If you give him a better squad, what can he do with it? So like I said, you can close your eyes and pick players for Pesero and you will get right. So it's not about the squad. I'm expecting nothing for Super Eagles, and except they will prove me wrong and tell me that they can do otherwise. But for me, let's just shout hallelujah when we get to AFCON.
All right. This is Alpha Week.
I need to confirm this. Mark, is that true? They went to beg Victor Moses. Is that true?
Yes, I read that. I read that today that they begged him and he said, no, that chapter is closed. I'm not coming back. Yes, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness. Victor Moses. Why?
Nigeria is a beg.
That's why people like us, football fans like us, football lovers like us, need to get up and take over whatever is happening. Because really, if we continue in this stead, Nigerian football will be nowhere to write them about. Even if you listen to if you watch our history, if you see what happened. Stephen, whatever his name, the Clemens Westerhoff, it was a mission that he decided to take.
Yes.
And if you watch the story of that 1994 Super Eagles, we all celebrate them. But that man, Clemens Westerhoff, we knew what he did to achieve success, even despite within the NFA back then, which is now NFF, there were still some people that stood as stumbling blocks to whatever he wanted to achieve. But he was focused, and when he achieved it, we all saw that ever since just crumbled 1998, 1999, Super Eagles does not put fear in the mind of the enemy anymore, in the mind of the opponent. It's just like a normal.
And Kule will tell us experience.
Yeah.
Today is the patriotic Nigerian. Today is
talking about home base. Now, how do we get home base players? Well, even the coach that we have don't go to stadiums to watch the players.
Oh, for you? He doesn't go there.
Okay, he's performing.
Robbie, can you confirm that?
Don't go,
this doesn't go
there.
Robbie.
Sorry, you said what? I didn't get you.
I said, just say, Pesero, he doesn't go to matches.
Do this coach
in MPFL games?
No, he doesn't come to matches. He doesn't come to matches.
What are we now?
He doesn't.
Damn.
See, just like Raymond said, pray for the team. Leave the team. All this English will not change anything. Pray for the team. With anything, they go to AFCON and support another team. It's not necessary to support Nigeria. For now.
We will fight. So you want us to pray for a team that is sick already, that is not doing well. Then we will not go.
Go and pick your own 25-man list. Go and pick your own 25-man list. There is nothing we can do.
Don't worry. We'll be enjoying ourselves.
That prayer for my
all right, guys.
And we're having the prayer for my for them to this season.
I want to say thank you. Margaret, thanks for showing up on this show. Thank you so much, Margaret. I want to sign you off. Thank you so much, Margaret.
Thank you thanks for having me.
Margaret, you're looking cute. You're looking pretty, by the way. Christmas touch, right? Mark, don't you took him out.
No, she's tied out.
Your wife will watch this broadcast too. when it is on YouTube. So be careful.
If I tell another woman the woman is pretty, doesn't mean I'm cheating on my wife.
Yeah.
Your wife will not understand that because
this is sports. Nubian Prince, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Nubian.
Thank you.
All right. Robbie, thanks so much. Robbie, I'm signing you out.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Only with experience, full of experience. Thank you so much, Philip.
All right. Thanks, it was always a pleasure.
All right. Bishop, you believe in Manchester United any day, anytime. We are going to Nottingham Forest. How many goals?
Definitely.
We have to win. 3 points.
Just I just said Napoli because now. So they drew, and I think the African representatives are not yet. I don't know if Salah has left. I don't know if Salah has left for AFCON. I don't know. But if he has gone, then I think Newcastle stand a good chance.
All right. Thank you so much, Bishop.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Mark.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you to you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure. I want to try to be on every show now, Monday and Friday, and I don't want to miss some discussions because it's going to really get thick. It's going to get thick.
I tell you, AFCON is coming. Hey, are you ready? AFCON. And also, Arsenal. All lights on Arsenal versus Fulham. I'm telling you.
For me, as for AFCON, I've got AFCON Nigeria. I'm not going to bother myself because I know where it's nothing. I keep saying it, it's nothing. But I love the contribution on the show today. I understand everybody's taking or everybody's buying. And I don't want them to see me as if I was being defensive. I just feel it's too early to call 19 games into the season, 2 points adrift. Arteta as a manager will only focus on the positive. I know right now there are a lot of negatives flowing up and down. It wasn't sweet that Arsenal lost, but it's a game Arsenal should have won. But like I said, it was a bad day in the office. But I know and I trust Arteta because whatever he did last season, he would want to build on it this season. So they will learn. And he would only focus on the positive. If it's just to focus on the negative, he might go mad. But focus on the positive. They played well, but it was just a bad day in the office. But let's see. We crack on 19 more games to go, and I hope for the best for my team, for Arsenal.
All right, yes, thank you so much. On to the next one on Monday. Bye for now. Raymond, thank you so much. We'll see you at the back of the scene. Thanks, Raymond. All right, people, this is how far we can go tonight. I want to say thank you so much for everybody joining us on this one. Please smash the like on the video, subscribe to our channel. And also, we are going fully into AFCON 2023 in Côte d'Ivoire. Are you ready? I'm ready. So on this one, I want to say thank you so much and bye for now.